Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody's doing good. All the bear stocks and all the hedge stocks that I told you how to invest in when the market goes down are all up. The Chinese Yang is up 10%. So that's you betting against the Chinese market when you do Yang. So Yang is up 11%. I'm going to go over that as well. So we're going to go over the stock market. We're going to go over gold, silver. We might take a brief look at Bitcoin, but we're also going to focus on Georgia real estate and focus on all markets when it comes to Fulton County and also segments of Cobb County. So I appreciate everybody that's been emailing me and keeping me informed when it comes to everything that they're doing when it comes to their trading, their investment, and also their scanning and tracking. But appreciate everybody that has literally been rocking with me and all the new subscribers. I hope you look at some of my community tab posts so you guys can be informed of all of my stock, at least stock watch list for the week, because all my plays when it came to Chinese Yang has literally come to fruition. So that's you making money on China cracking down on their economy. You know, Xi Jinping want to be the Debo of his society. So for everybody that coming in, please like the video, please share to a friend. Appreciate everybody that shows everything that is coming a full-time investment entrepreneur. Focus on aspects of what's going on in your market. For all my real estate people, they're focusing on what the new development so they can piggyback off of it. So when them property prices go up, they go up. Whatever the big developers is doing, at least in, how can I put it? Delaware, Philly, New Jersey, you can be able to benefit. So everybody that's coming in, please like the video. And I'm going to share my screen right now, and we're going to look at the stock market. Thank you. If anybody wants to come up on the panel, it's an open panel link, but I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to focus on the market crashing. The market crashed very hard. So SPXS, that's how you benefit off of the market getting crushed like this. So when the market is down, you're up. That is the whole entire point of investing in inverse. Anything. Inverse derivatives, future trading, shorting. So as we can see, Dow Jones got its ass whooped today. Like literally plummeting. But with Yang, we're side up. So when the Chinese market is down 3%, this is going to be up times 3. Remember that. When the market is down in China, it's going to be up 3 times the volume. So for all the people that was looking at my videos from the start when I told you guys get invested, you guys got a good hedge. You didn't lose any money. Actually, you gained. Then we're going to focus on uranium. This is very important when it comes to the situations of this quasi-war talk. Uranium is up. Took a little crumble, but it's still up on the day. Once again, another uranium company up. They're located in Canada. And this took a very weird crumble. So all the people that do day trading and had their 5-minute charts, they made their money on the start of it off of just holding. But people that short sell a lot, you would have to be able to have some puts and calls so you can be able to make money on both ends. But Chevron, oil and gas, up. It did a recovery. But please pay attention on uranium. And please pay attention when it comes to at least what China does next when it comes to geopolitical reasons. Because Xi Jinping is banging on its citizens where they're going to more lockdowns. situations of people have to go to literally phase one, and that helps the bear market because him going hard on everybody actually helps your pocket. See, in the past month since I've been recommending you guys this, 66%. So all the people that love China, that's very China enthusiasts, they are getting beat because that's in the past month, 66%. In the past 6 months since I've been telling you this from third stimulus and pre-third stimulus, that is up. So the sentiment of what China is doing, China just keep going harder and harder. As you can see, it's starting to look like more of a smart investment that you guys at least need to be able to put your eyes on. Not to invest, but to put your eyes on, because you also got to study when is the economy is going to open up, because Brazil so far has a good necessary run up that you guys need to see as well. For all the people that's coming in, please like the video. Please like the video. Because this would have been a monster fixed dollar cost averaging. Because I'm buying the dip every time there's an entry price when it comes to Brazil. Okay, we got 5-day, giving you guys the trend. That's 5 days, 6 months. As you can see from the start, that was the bottom. Now, anybody that could clearly sees shorting is the best option. So having your puts at, say, like 8% downside. So that means 8% downside would be like $29 as a put. You set aside, give you some time just in case. If it goes wrong, you got enough time to be able to roll over your option. You can roll over your contract so you're not forfeiting at the wrong price, but at least have 3 puts when it comes to this stock and 5 calls. So that's more bullish. So just in case, if it does have a big run up, you can at least be right and still have the opportunity to be able to make some money when it does dip and you exercise. But uranium is important due to the fact that in the past, trend lines of basic materials, chemicals, everything has been up. The whole sector has literally been rising. So everybody's moving away from biotech and start moving into basic materials. And Cathie Wood's ARK Invest isn't very profitable. For all the people that's coming in, please like the video. Please like the video. Please like the video. And also, this is an open panel. Feel free to come up. If you have any questions, type it in the chat or feel free to come in so we can be able to talk about some investment. Okay, so as we can see, I don't know, people are going to start clinging on to all this. People are going to start being more bullish when it comes to inverse and also neutral investment type of portfolio paths. Because betting against the Dow Jones right now is the smartest thing you can do. Smartest thing you can do for your investment. Because anytime when it's bear, you're going the opposite way. So you can be able to make money off that downturn. It's so important for people to at least understand when the market is getting crushed like this, this is a good, cheap price. Because if it keeps going like this with all the news, market sentiment being shoddy, inflation going crazy, then it's going to keep going up. So this is just you investing in the bear market the opposite way. So when the market's getting crushed like this, so as we can see, consolidated downward, then a big run up. So for all my option traders, just have a split of calls and puts. No, I don't invest with people for people. I partner with people I do a joint venture with people, but that's in real estate. Like stocks, this is just like a recommendation. This is just me putting aside $300-400 on each of these plays so I can be able to get some gain off of inflation. Because really, people that are invested in the stock market and getting trades and gains, they are literally beating inflation. They're the smartest people in America right now. While everybody is complaining about gas prices, which is a problem, you should be invested in a lot of the basic materials, because gas problems is a problem. I'm not going to negate that, but globally, other countries is starting to be able to make some money. Like Brazil's market is open, very wide in range. So people should at least think that Brazil can at least be $50 per share in the next 6 months. That's my prediction. I called it. $50 in the next 6 months. I'm gonna be able to have a whole bunch of calls. I'm gonna keep buying shares. I'm gonna have like 150 shares every single month on Brazilian shares just to be able to be bullish and watch in 6 months that it will show some gain in strength. Because Brazil is opening up their economy. They're not fucking around when it comes to their recovery. They're not trying to lock down again. They're trying to be able to get back to the tourist element of their economy, which that's the main premise of their economy. So with the Dow Jones getting its ass whooped, you always invest in the bear. That's just a rule of thumb. And we're going to move on to a couple more real estate things that I want to get across to you guys. But as we can see, when the market is getting its ass whooped like this, you always invest in SPXS so you can benefit and you can profit off of the market sell-off, crash, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to see it as, because people don't see it as a market crash. They just see it as a sell-off. So I don't know. When it comes to the chart, when it comes to the algorithm of everything, it's up right now. So this is 8%. You always invest in SPXS when the market has a sentiment of bear. You always go here. So be invested in different markets, y'all. So that's the SP 500. Got the Dow getting its ass whooped. NASDAQ losing strength. What did Tesla do? So let me see what Tesla does, because anything involving Tesla is going up. Your lithium goes up as well. That's like something that does correlate. For all the people that did email me, man, and show me your results, that I appreciate everybody that gives me some feedback when it comes to everything. So Tesla got its ass whooped today. Okay, but the market cap is at 831 billion. Okay, Tesla Bull says approval for a Berlin Gigafactory moves major overhang on the stock. Okay, urges you to start nuclear powers and stations. Tesla stock tumbles, 2 leaders rise. It gets one going to the strength. Okay. Biden elevates Ford, GM, and cinema, but not Tesla. Big EV push. And remember, y'all, for all the people that want to be able to say on why is he not doing anything, it's because he want to push EVs. So crushing oil and gas is the method. Salute to everybody that's coming in. Appreciate everybody. But yo, when it comes to everything that's going on, man, Brazil is winning right now. Well, the market is getting its ass whooped today. In the past month, it has a better sentiment than the American markets, because literally starting from February 8th and coming from this, then for all the people that do option trading and do it within like 2-week type patterns, they could be able to make some good solid money off of the swing, and you're in the money. And that's why you always have puts. So you have the call to be able to make the money on the run up, And say if it didn't run up like this, say if it went bearish, if it went downward and started crashing and tumbling before this February 16th date, then that's why you have multiple puts. But when it comes to your trading pattern, at least be able to study when it comes from stock twits. If you're going to look at Twitter, use the hashtag. So you always use the $. Then the logo, the ticketer emblem. So whatever that you do, always make sure that you're active on Twitter when it comes to all of your stocks. All of your stocks, you got to be very literate when it comes to this. So BPMP has a 14% dividend. So all the people that say, well, I want to invest in nothing but dividends, this has a 14% dividend. So that's just for everybody that wants to be able to say, well, how can we be able to at least have something going for ourselves? Well, this dividend is actually 14%. This needs to be updated because the company had good news. That's why this stock is up while the market in general is getting its ass whooped. So I always get you guys stocks that are either inverse from the market. So if the market goes left or right, you can always have a general conception because like the market lost 800 points. This is a huge sell-off. Market is getting its ass whooped right now, as we can see. But a dividend stock that gives you a good annual return and you can just invest in every single month, set aside $200, $300. That's actually one of the best type of things that you could do for yourself, because a lot of people are chasing returns and only getting 5% with a money manager. You're doing this by yourself and literally making at least 8% dividend yield. So let me get my calculator. Matter of fact, let me get my personal calculator. Hold on. So if somebody had $250 a month set aside on this stock, 8% would be $250. So that isn't a big return, but you know, that $250 that you added and not $250 that you spend, you know. But people that has the bigger monies, you know, when it comes to people that do listen to the channel that has a lot of liquid cash, this would serve them very well, because if they had $80,000, they would have got at least $7,000 per year added interest. And just compound that to 15 years of doing that, you know, 8% in 15 years with this quarterly amount per share, you know, you can reinvest that into this stock. You can at least have a good, stable war chest where when you're all ready for investing in real estate, you can just leverage your stock portfolio and get a loan against it. So the past 6 months, here is the sentiment. So that's 24% in the past 6 months, and that's literally with a dividend. So that's BPMP. So that's an 8% dividend. Midstream Partners LP, and that's traded on the New York Stock Exchange. So this went up today, but always focus on the dividend plays. Focus on anything that's involved in lithium tech. But I'll just be able to say I'm going to be able to make sure that I put everybody in the right path where they're knowledgeable on all of these stocks, because everybody's focused on the singular of crypto, and crypto markets is actually getting beaten. A lot of the short sellers is actually short selling all crypto mining, all of, how can I say this? Intertwined systems that are involved with crypto, they're getting heavily shorted. But all the scenarios that I'm getting you guys involved is uranium. Then when everything gets figured out when it comes to infrastructure of EVs, then lithium will blow up even higher, because that means they'll have more sales. But right now, oil and gas is the kingpin right now. Oil and gas, it has shown itself that green energy cannot beat, because you need oil and gas to be able to have your Tesla. You know, that's why all the climate hogs, they're actually making it more profitable for the oil and gas companies, the companies that they say they hate. It's literally going to make them more money. But what I'm going to do for everybody else is just focus on the dividend play. In the past 6 months, blown up 24%, and that's a dividend every single quarter. That's compounding on each share that you have. So people that's just investing, say $1,000 for the big investors, $1,000 a month. For the little investors, $200 a month. That'll serve you well, because this like literally blew up. Right now, the best money would be to short the stock, have your put options. So you can do put options if you have $100 in shares. So for all the people that have $100, no, not $100 in shares, but 100 shares of this stock, you can be able to short the stock, bet against it, make some money on shorting it while holding the dividend. Plus, you can be able to use the proceeds that you make on your option trading, shorting it. Because when it has a big run up like this, the best bet is shorting it, because you missed the time period when I told you guys to invest in high dividend stocks. They're invested based off of either real estate REITs, and literally use that as a dividend farm. So that's the net profit, at least the net profit margin, 111%. It missed the EPS projection and it missed the revenues, but it still holds its own on the chart. So technically, it's been a win. 32%. It's been a win since the time when I told you guys about that, when Texas had that snow in, and I had you guys involved in NRG Energy. So that's a Texas energy company that literally had this, I think, either one of the largest contracts or one of the biggest contracts. But yes, when the Dow Jones is getting its ass whooped, you always invest in SPXS. So if the Dow goes down to, say, 28% with all this bad news that's on the TV, and with the administration not showing the confidence in the market, because also the market sentiment also reacts to Biden speeches, Kamala Harris speeches, Blinken speeches, Lloyd Austin, the Secretary of Defense. But RTX, now I told you guys about Raytheon, and that has a dividend as well, and that is literally at all-time highs. And we got you guys involved in Raytheon when it was around $56 when Biden Harris got sworn in. So now it's $98 a share. So I appreciate everybody that was sticking in with me. So it went to all-time highs at 103. I had you guys involved like $58 a share. And that's why, please go back at the old videos. For all the people that are old or new, go to the old videos and also judge my content based on that scenario. I don't delete too much of my stock videos, because that's important for everybody to get involved in. So even the past 6 months, you would got 30% gains if you just paid attention. So we at all-time highs right now. So it literally surpassed pre-pandemic. So Raytheon, that's a dividend. That's a $146 billion company. That's the dividend yield that you get just for holding it. That's the news surrounding all of Raytheon. Acquiring new companies. Tech Missiles divisions. So we can do Raytheon. Then we will do copper. Now, Motley Fool is usually good when it comes to its information. I'm going to give you guys the link to Motley Fool so you guys can study around it and you can research all of the sector news. You do it called Ticket Tape trading. So that means that you're just scanning all the news on all these companies, all the catalysts, any type of press releases, any type of media news, then the revenues. A lot of people like to be able to buy the news and sell at earnings, which I find it to be weird. I find it to be very weird, but it's how emotions play. So Freeport Moran is actually something I put on the community. Southern copper is actually very cheap. So this is all the 1 million tons of copper that they got. So these are really the main ones that you want to pay attention to. So that's Ticketer Rio. Please remember this, because you'll thank me later, because copper is literally buzzing. And I will continue to buzz copper and nickel. Palladium is higher, worth more than gold. Remember that. Palladium is worth more than gold. The golden is very right when it comes to the stock market, but you can get more, in my opinion, when it comes to the gains. If you're trying to be able to hunt those gains, that's what I would prefer. So palladium, you got copper. Boeing is very expensive. Lockheed Martin is very expensive as well. So if I got you guys involved on that, I hope y'all big balling. Where you get, if you're gonna invest, in those, you gotta have like $50,000 liquid. That means you are already established. Now, people from the ground up, like Ulyss. Let me go back to Ulyss, because I told you guys about this stock like in March. That was pre-stimulus, pre-third stimulus, and it blew up around September. So let me pull this up. Then I'm gonna transition to real estate. So, but for anybody who wants to come up on the panel, feel free. The link is open. So let me type this up really quick. US. So it has a pullback, and literally it has one of the best entry prices, because all of these is based off NFT and acquirerships or acquisitions, and them acquiring these NFT companies that are involved in the music industry. So the music industry is going to profit off of NFTs than really the how can I say, the average everyday person can ever, because NFTs really don't help too much of anybody outside of digital content creators. In my opinion, I don't know. They can probably remix it. But let's go back here. Let's go to the Wayward machine. I told you guys about this stock pre-stimulus, and also mentioned about this in July. So this was just like 2 entry opportunities for everybody to get involved in. So if people wasn't paying attention on the market stimulus, cool. Because it did took a crash when I recommended you guys. But all the people that did fixed dollar cost averaging and just holding on and just trusting my word, y'all made y'all money. Because I made my money. Like, come on, man. Do I have to look like Jim Cramer for you guys to be able to take me serious even when the market crumbles? Because this blew up based off of acquisition and the news. So for all the people that bought like 250 shares of this stock, hold on, let me do this really quick. So say when I told you guys about this in March and again on July, based on the news, that was like 5 cents a share. Now, for the brokest person out there, if they would invested in $250 just in total, not even really taking me serious, just testing it out just to see if it even made sense or not, getting their Interactive Brokers, or at the time TD Ameritrade account, and getting 5,000 shares, and it blew up all the way up to 51 cents a share, that'd have been a return. if the person would have did fixed dollar cost averaging, where he would have put $250 in like 3 months of 5 cents a share, that's $750. But let's do it at 5 cents a share. He would have got 15,000 shares times that by 51 cents at the all-time highs, mind you, because we're doing that at the all-time high. It's 51 cents. That'd have been their return. It would have been a 10x return just by paying attention on the old plan for the stimulus, and also another video of, did you had your plan ready for the collapse? All those videos that I told you guys about this, Euless has literally been always on the center of the channel. Hell, I think I even had the screenshot of Euless. So please don't forget this stock. If this stock goes $2 a share, I do not want to hear anybody complaining about anything. I want to have full immunity if that stock goes to $2 a share. Like, we literally need to have it where everybody just slightly looking at everything that's going on. Just have a set aside, invested in your account, because I don't hold nobody don't send me no money. I don't do that. I'm not BlackRock. I'm not Grant Cardone. Only how I can be able to do that is if I was SEC registered when it came to the involvement of being a market trader and also taking on people's donation. But I don't do that. I told you guys to get your Interactive Brokers, your TD Ameritrade accounts, short a lot of the stocks that are in tech, short anything that Cathie Wood is talking about, because it seems like Cathie Wood don't know what the hell she's talking about. And Bitcoin, Bitcoin, that's a different story when it comes to that. So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to look at what Bitcoin is doing right now. So let me get on TradingView. And for all the people that's coming in, open panel, click on the link. Anybody has a question for real estate, if you have a zip code that you need me to look at, so we can look at vacant properties and also look at tax delinquencies in the zip code that you're in, please put it in the chat. But the link is in the chat. Open panel. Please like the video and please share to a friend so they can get some money. So let me do this really quick. So we're going to look at Bitcoin. Okay. So trade view. Bitcoin. Like, I'm not the biggest Bitcoin enthusiast, but if you're going to invest in any type of dip market, I think Bitcoin market has very huge discounts. Not like 2019 discounts where you had like coins that blew up 40%, no, 40x, 40x runner, a 40 bagger. But when it comes to what I do on my scenario, I think people should focus on a lot of real estate aspects in your market. Now, that's something that you can literally have it where I do the credit repair, I do the credit funding, get you in credit unions. Mark has loan officer privileges and has the ability to get you involved in private money. If you have a business plan, if you have a clear path goal, then we can get you somewhere. But for all the people that are involved in what I'm doing right now, they're involved in real estate. They're doing the stock market trading on their own so they can be able to beat inflation. So if they have any discretionary income of $250, they can be able to at least get some good multiples on their money, mind you. Salute to you, Wes. Wes, if you want to come up on the panel, you can be able to come up on the panel. Anybody that wants to join, the link is in the chat. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to look at the Bitcoin trading view to see what's the price action. Let's see what's the sentiment, if China, Russia is making any impact, because that's also another thing that's coming into play. China and Russia is having a scenario where they're trying to shift money around. So they have their little payment system, but you still have a lot other countries like Venezuela and Brazil that's trying to shift money around, because the BRICS agreement, when it comes to Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, that BRICS agreement is literally the reason why Brazil also still has a boost, because with everything being such a restraint of oil and the price of oil, you know, it can be $200 a barrel, and $200 a barrel is the most expensive like oil ever. We're so I didn't know why StreamYard did that, but I'm gonna share my screen. I'm ready. We're gonna look at the Bitcoin sentiment to see if it's up, see if it's down, if it's sideways, because a lot of people are shorting Bitcoin, and people that wanted a Bitcoin ETF, I don't know if you want that, but because literally all the hedge fund people are just gonna short it into zero. Okay, so right now we at 37. Okay. Okay. Well, indicators, I think you guys should trade like the banks. Banks don't really use indicators. They use pricing points when it comes to diversion. Like they usually have a method of they will short big run ups and get so many good entry points when it does bubble up, like a fake, like a fake out right here because it faked out right here, faked out right here. They're literally making money off of multiple puts shorting Bitcoin. But right now the price in action is at 37, about to be like 38, inching to 38. So it'll probably be 38 or 40. But people should focus on understanding what the term sector rotating is. For all the people that's listening in the clouds, understand what sector rotating is, because hedge funds are literally scrambling where they're going from tech stocks to blockchain to Bitcoin to moving to NFTs. Like this company, this was an NFT play. People that knew what was the assignment got the money, and all the people that invested in this like before I got involved. Just imagine their returns, because they probably got it when it was like triple zeros, when it was like not even a penny, when it was like completely flatline. Because they made their money in the start of 2021, and all the people that just say, well, I'm going to be able to make my money there, reinvest on the dip, they literally made the money off the roller coaster, like all in October, September, just all-time highs when it comes to that. But right now, hopefully we can get to those levels, back to 66. That hopefully we can get back to that. Hopefully we can get back to that, because if we can get back to that, it'd be cool for everybody that invests and literally lost when they took $650,000 loan when it was 20,000 back in 2018, 2019, and literally got their asses trounced. Like the all-time legacy of Bitcoin, with people that took out the loans and got involved around that level and literally just a multi-year bear market. Like that's a multi-year bear market right there, ladies and gentlemen. Like people wasn't even making no type of money on Bitcoin, just getting a good share position to be able to do fixed dollar cost averaging. Now, for the people that got involved when it came to the dip and just fixed dollar cost average all the way in the bottom, then they got the big run up right here. Then they got the dip entry to be able to enter in. Then got the second blessing to now shorting it. So yes, you're dealing with a lot of institutional players shorting Bitcoin. So you're dealing with multi-trillion-dollar corporations that are saying we are going to play with Bitcoin. And we're going to figure out how can we be able to make it short so we can be able to stockpile on it. But the problem is they're trying to do the law infrastructure first, then re-release it to the public, because you see everybody is flip-flops on it seems like every subject when it comes to legislation. So they're just trying to be able to get their foot in the door, then have it where they got all the infrastructure set up where they can track it. They can be able to do the taxation, the 1099s, like they do with anything else. Then that's where mass adoption, then that's where you're going to have people buy a lot of stuff on that type of barometer. But I don't believe that a lot of people accept it because you got to be tech savvy to at least buy cryptocurrency. You got to be very tech savvy. And everybody knows that and here in America, the baby boomers got majority of the money. If the baby boomers can't solve it where it's very simplistic, they're not doing it. Same thing when it comes to streaming. A lot of baby boomers don't do streaming. Ages 18 to 50 literally are carrying streaming. They're carrying cryptos. People that are in their 70s and 80s that are invested, they're mostly stock market type people. They don't think Bitcoin is a real thing. I think blockchain technology has a very useful type of necessary resource to be able to capitalize. But me personally, I'm focused heavily on real estate, something that's very physical, something that can be leveraged 5 to 6 times. Because when it comes to Bitcoin, it can be very illiquid. It can be very illiquid. When you got $350,000 in Bitcoin, you're trying to find somebody that can be able to purchase and make that order for you so you can be able to cash out. And, that takes a while. But Dash, a crypto coin of Dash is very fast, where I can send all of my subscribers some Dash and they can all get it within seconds. So Bitcoin has a usation where if you can be able to get involved like in multi-million-dollar real estate, then a lot of people that are in Dubai, a lot of people that are in Germany, they buy real estate properties in Bitcoin. And that's why I showed you guys all the websites that were involved in purchasing and selling real estate all on Bitcoin. So what we're going to do is I'm going to focus on certain markets in Georgia. And also I want to look at Chicago when it comes to Gresham. And I'm trying to focus on everything that's involved in the Obama library, because that's where a lot of development and a lot of gentrification is going to be. So Obama Library Museum is going to be huge, because those properties is probably going to 7x within 3 to 5 years. And property tax is going to escalate up. But for all the people that own the properties, for all the people that do own their properties in that area, don't sell too early. Please don't sell too early. You don't want to have a scenario like it happened in Brooklyn, where people that did sell too early but still cashed out, where it's 80,000. Look at the historical data, mind you, where it was 80,000 brownstones, then it was 350, and they sold early. It blew up to 2.5 to 3.5 million dollars for each brownstone. That is something where selling too early can bite you in the ass. Try to find out some type of way how to be able to pay for those property taxes, some type of way how to pay for the property tax to hold on for dear life, because that is something where that can be able to make somebody into a multimillionaire literally overnight just by holding on to some property. So that can change the dynamics of family legacy based off of how to say, it would be high net worth individual demand. There's people that are worth 40, $50 million. They'll snatch that up easily. And we got 20 million millionaires in America. Then we got 150 global millionaires all over the world. I probably overestimated, but we all get the gist of what I'm trying to say. We got millions of global millionaires, and we got thousands of billionaires that are literally buying up everything in Chicago, LA, New York, developments in Miami, scenarios of a lot of inward development. So a lot of gentrification in the trailer parks and the swamp beasts in Florida. A lot of those are going to be gone. They're going to be able to do the same thing that they do when it comes to Miami without tearing up anything. They could just literally flat out build. Now they would have to work out certain things when it comes to environmental, which that's usually the most expensive, why the regular investor can't be able to go full all in on those developments unless they got a survey on the property, be able to do your due diligence, construction loan, overestimate that scenario so you can be able to be protected. You have a war chest where if you're going to take 1 year to build, 2 years to build, because it'd take 1 year for permit, and another year just to be able to build on the scenario on a whole new subdivision. Yeah, overestimating your construction loan, getting like $80,000 to $100,000 overestimating the profit. You take that proceeds and you just put in a fix and flip or something for right now type investment. Because development, that's something where you're talking about 3 to 5 year type of timeline to try to be able to capture as much equity to be able to actually get much ground. You're doing your network partnerships with local investors in the zip code. And that's why PropStream is so useful. That's why PropStream is like one of the useful tools that you can possibly even get involved in. So how can I put 5 zip codes? So for all the people that's coming in or for the people that's looking at the replay, give me 5 zip codes in the chat that I can be able to research on. I need 5 zip codes. So I'm going to do the markets that I'm going to do in Georgia and Chicago. Then I need everybody else's zip code. So the next time when I go live, I can be able to give everybody an action plan so they can be able to invest in their market and they can be able to at least get more centered in that area. Because the action plan I would say is the best is to get involved with a credit union, regardless if you're going to be able to take it head on or you're going to take anything that's, how can I say, challenging. Because commercial real estate, you're going to focus on people that has $1 to $3 million. You're going to focus on people with $500,000 in liens or more. You're literally trying to find somebody that's in distress situation where they can't really capitalize off of the booming market. They need something for right now. So they can't be too picky or judgy, because a lot of these motherfuckers can't get somebody to close on a 90-day loan. A lot of deals go flat. But when it comes to a good loan officer, you can close deals to 10 to 15 days. So 10 to 15 day closes, that's going to be one of the beneficial things where you can beat out any competition that's in your area. Okay. Looking for multifamilies this time. I'm looking for 10 doors or more. Okay. We get 10 doors or more, that's multifamily. Usually those prices would range under $1 million. So you can probably get that negotiated for $400,000. Then you would do a setup where you would do 0 upfront. You would have a wraparound loan. In 6 months, they'll get paid off of the loan that you refinance on. So let's do the finance. Vacant property characteristics, 10 bedroom. Apartment, multifamily. Okay, I need some liens. I need some type of lien. Tax lien, child support lien will do, solar lien, utility problems we can take on that. Okay, so what else? So I'm gonna need individual. So skip trace could be easy. If I can't find nothing, then we'll do the LLC there. I'm trying to find something around that range. I'm trying to do that. Maybe not vacant. Ugh. Okay. There we go. Hey, I had to filter and refilter this shit. Now, rezoning can be done, but that rezoning usually takes 2 years where you can rezone this thing into a multifamily, but this is in Ferry Road. But I'll definitely see if anybody has any type of lawyer connections in Atlanta, Georgia, to figure out rezoning. I want to see how much is their lien though. $250,000. Okay, it's federal. Tax type 1040. So they got a 1040 tax problem of $264,760.41. Okay, it's on Richard. Catherine. Their mortgage, 2.6 million. 264,000. I want to see what's the condition of the property, because this family right here is probably house rich and cash poor. Let me see how many properties that they own. Okay, so they got that private. So they probably got all their other properties in trust. So their property taxes is $42,000 a year. So this is a multi-million-dollar neighborhood. So let's look at the address to see how the neighborhood specifically looks right now as we speak. Figure out. Okay. Gotcha. Nice house. I want to see if there's any vacant lots to build something like that. Because if it's $1 million neighborhood, people need to focus on where is the vacant lots. But this person right here, Richard, you got $264,000 in federal tax liens, buddy. They 1040. Work with your boy. This is $1 million neighborhood that has a lot of liens. Has a lot of liens. The only thing you need to do is just try to find the vacant lots where if they don't want to sell, cool. Your second option is to leverage this neighborhood to see how much vacant lots are there If there's any way of you getting seller financing on the vacant lots, cool. You can just put 5 to 10% down, get access to a construction loan, and it'll take you. Well, the permits, that's why you need a zoning lawyer. So find you a zoning lawyer that's in Sandy Springs, y'all. Sandy Springs, get you a Sandy Springs lawyer and see if you get you a vacant land lot and start building in this neighborhood. And potentially you can sell the property for 1.1 million. Go on Zillow and you can sell it to the next rapper, baller, athlete, wannabe, and you can be able to cash out on their wants to be in the millionaire class. But this neighborhood is such luxury and lush because you got a balling, multi-million-dollar people. And Georgia real estate is so cheap where you can do 1.2 million and live like a king, where in California it will take you $50 million to have a house looking like this. And that's not even really the best element of it. That's not even the biggest element of it, to be honest. But Sandy Springs has a lot of opportunity when it comes to some development. Finding a vacant land lot if you can. If that's a vacant land lot, and see if you can build something, clear up them trees, get the permits to clear up them trees, do a 2-year development, and see if you can sell it for the lowest, $1 million, the highest, $2-3 million. But if you want to be able to link a buyer, that's why you need to find out who are the cash buyers in your neighborhood. So I'm going to copy paste this zip code so I can be able to see who are the cash buyers that has $1 million. And we're going to find a cash buyer on the spot. I'm going to save this property, but finding a vacant lot in this neighborhood is important. Because look at the home equity, because the equity crashed and rose back up and it's still in the millions. Now, this person right here, the federal tax lien is whooping their ass. So the seller financing thing has to be done. But if you can't build an apartment based off of how everything is set up, renting it out for $30,000, $40,000 a month, you can do that. There's a lot of people that rent out these houses to celebrity-esque, no matter A-list or B-list. Okay. So there's 90 people with liens. Okay. 90 people with liens. Let's go to the liens. No bankruptcies, only 5 vacant properties. Okay. So this person bought their house for 1.1 in 2016. Now they have a mechanics lien problem for 9,000. So we're trying to find the biggest problem. So we got Edgewater Drive, federal tax lien, $545,000. Okay, 160 federal. So all these people got federal tax problem liens. And seller financing, you can work your way on seller financing. Now, maybe you don't want to do something this huge of a deal, but you can find any type of neighborhood that has that scenario of problem. So let me share my screen. I think let me do this really quickly. There we go. Multi-million-dollar neighborhood. Finding this vacant land lot has to be one of the biggest things that everybody has to see. So 720. This person has $264,000 in liens. This is such an opportunity. And this is why financial literacy is so important. Because someone that has $400,000 of business credit they can literally take advantage of this person not having the management down correctly in his house because he's a married man. He done got his wife and him in federal tax lien problems. His neighborhood right here is extra balling. His neighbor doesn't have any tax lien problems. I did research just right now. My bonehead ass was supposed to share my screen. But this person right here, 265,000. Now, all these liens are inside the same neighborhood that you just saw. Just right now, the biggest person, 545,000 in federal tax lien on Edgewater Drive. And that's 965. Then his neighbor, he got it even just as big as 163, 155. So all these liens are taxes in the federal taxes, or a huge mechanic lien when it comes to a contractor and them not paying the contractor, and the contractor putting that mechanic's lien on it. They're messing up big time, not paying that. But that's something we're skip tracing. You use LexisNexis, you use Batch Leads. Prospect Now is very accurate. So I showed you guys Prospect Now. But I think people should at least be able to be more on the element of let's see what's in your market. Always see what's in the surrounding areas. All those areas needs to be figured out very quickly, because all the people that are from Atlanta, because I'm not from Atlanta, y'all really need to be on it, because you understand the ecosystem. You understand how things are done. Finding a vacant land lot, getting a construction loan, and start building on that. Because I didn't like it where I was listening to JT, the pocket watcher, and him and Orlando was just shunning the dude and not really giving him the aspects of, this is why you're wrong and this is how I can help you so you don't go to the deep end. I'm like, man, they was literally telling the same thing that they told everybody in 2020. Well, how do you know if the market is going to crash, and construction lumber prices and like, construction has been continued to go, and construction has continued to go. Like, he had an opportunity to build in a nice neighborhood in Louisiana. He got the construction loan. He overestimated by, I think he said 40 to 50,000. So he literally walked away at closing with 50 G's in Louisiana. So somebody that's in the South, they know that Louisiana properties is very cheap, where he can literally walk at the closing table and pick up another property on the way out. Literally, he can get on his phone and find another property because he got liquid cash because of his construction loan. Even if it does go topsy-turvy, he got enough money to be able to do a fix and flip and save him easily. Because there's plenty of fix and flip opportunities where the only thing you got to do is just do the paint, maybe get the windows replaced. You never take it to above and beyond when it comes to repairs. You always make sure that your realtor gives you something that's in the range of cosmetic, manicure type of scenario, not heavy gut. But all these properties are vacant. So these 5 properties are vacant residentials that are in the millionaire class. So this person bought his millionaire neighborhood property for $587,000 in 2019, and it's vacant. So I want to see if he's renting it out. And you can always call to always ask that question and say, are you renting it out? Try to get very involved with the person on the phone. If you're going to have cold callers to do it, or if you're a person going to do it, to try to have it where you're guaranteeing the seal, the deal. Always have it where you have your lawyer write up your seller financing draft. You never do things by yourself. You never do things by yourself. You always try to at least have it where you have some legal representative helping you. So his equity now has risen. 4 properties in the market has sold, and it took 100 days. Okay, so he's putting his property in MLS. So let's see if he sold the property yet. He lives in Long Island Drive. Oh, Kumar. Okay. So we got the Kumar family. Gotcha. Okay, so he tried to sell it for $650. It's been on the market for golly, a 1,000 days. Jesus, Kumar. But that should motivate you that there is something wrong with this property right here. Sensational opportunity on a sought after Riverside Drive. Yeah, it's very sought after, man. This is like a $3 million neighborhood. The total comps is $3 million. Because we can put up the full comps, and that's where you give to your end buyer on, yo, we got this contract. This is a multi-million dollar type of scenario. You know, if you could get it under contract for 400,000 where it's really messed up or there's something wrong with it, because literally 922 days on the market, they pulled it off. They've been having it since 2021. It's 5-bedroom, 5-bath. Shingles. So they pulled it off the market. So they tried to list it in 2018, didn't work. Tried to do it again in 2021, still didn't work. So the Palmer team couldn't get it sold for him. So let's see, what is the condition of this property? I want to see, is it messed up? Is it a fix and flip? I can't get this photo, so let me do this option. Do it right here. Like, still in the same neighborhood, mind you. So this is like $3 million, $4 million, $5 million. Like, all the athletes live in Swanee. So you got the Ron Whites, you got the Michael Turners, you got the NFL athletes. Journey, if you want to come up on the panel, click on the link. If anybody wants to come up on the panel, click on the link. I'm trying to find a vacant lot where, if you can find a vacant lot or somebody that has a huge lien where seller financing can make sense for them, and you can give them $10,000 a month for like 120 months. You can do that. You can literally use the Airbnb money to finance this multi-million dollar neighborhood. Well, at least the multi-million dollar property in this $5 million neighborhood. Because if you can get that under contract where you're getting it for 1.4, the neighborhood goes for 4.4 at the highest maximum. You know, mind you, it's going to take you a long time. Damn, I messed up. I didn't mess up. Hold on. It's going to take you a long time. But still, you know, we just try to be able to make it where you can find an opportunity, a diamond in a rough situation. Because they always say you invest in an ugly property in a nice neighborhood. So that's the common logic when it comes to a lot of builders. Construction Journal, that's what I use to find what's the new construction in a neighborhood. And I use that to find a cash buyer in that neighborhood to send them more deals, because they probably want multiple type of plays at once. They want a huge plate. So let me do this. I want to see if this is a vacant lot that is able for sale. If it's not, no biggie. I'm trying to figure out what is the rezoning that comes to Georgia, though. That is my only question, because Georgia is way more opportunity than California. A lot of people are looking at this and saying that this is an opportunity to keep putting money in and build. So more construction jobs is going to be open and available. I think that's going to be something that's going to really be a bigger boom, because you got people that will be coming in by a number. They project 40,000 people coming in to the metro Atlanta just to be able to find housing. So these prices is insane, though. This is literally like a huge type of situation to take advantage of. Now, bank-owned property. Let's find out how much does the bank-owned property go for. How much does the bank want this property for? Let me check the background and see if anybody's back there. Okay, nope, no problem. Trying to get PropStream to work. If it just load up, let me refresh this really quick. Let me clear up. Got all these damn tabs. Let me clear this up. There we go. Now I'm trying to see what does this look like. This is a bank owned. Bank owned in the neighborhood. Hold on, let me do this really quick. There we go. Okay, so that's where the situation's at. Okay, so they got a charter school. Cool. Go to Redfin. Hold on. Oh, that's weird. PropStream says this is a bank own, but it says this is currently off market. Because I want this deal, because this is like a very cheap type of scenario where the bank own put the aspect where we can get this for 600,000. 600,000, that's 60% ARV. And that's a scenario where you built it up, you redo it, you rent it out, you Airbnb it for $120, $250. Sorry about that. I said $250. $250 a night. Times that by 30. You rent out 2 sections of the house for that amount, 15,000. You may give the owner on a seller financing job. If it was a seller financing job, if it was an opportunity where if you found another property that's in this neighborhood you can find a good entry point where it can be under $1 million, because you can see that they are already giving the illusion of this being $1 million. But if it has a bank owned problem, it's probably dealing with some type of encumbrances. That's why you got to do a full title search with a good title company that will work with you, where you don't have to go through all the stresses and headaches, because this is listed as bank owned on PropStream. So I try to get the photo, couldn't get the photo. I'm trying to figure out the auction date. So now I know it takes a month to evict. That means it's very landlord friendly, so you can be able to do what you need to do, and you don't have to deal with aspects of waiting for the courts to come save you. You can literally have it where you can be able to evict and do what you need to do and move that one forward. So we got 94 cash buyers. So this can be used to create a cash buyers list. Okay, so this person bought vacant land for $600,000. So you can skip trace the LLCs. You just can't do it with Prospect Now when it comes to the LLCs, but you can do that when it comes to LexisNexis based off address. They're skip tracing based off of loan documents. That's why a lot of debt collectors use LexisNexis, plus police organizations. A lot of credit repair companies use that as leads to find people that are on a basis where they need an angel. They need somebody to take the bankruptcy off the credit report. You know, a lot of people use these website tools to find out all the problems that's going on in Fulton County. Now, credit repair, it's the whole state of Georgia. They have an issue of that. So, that's why you got to move your ass to Florida, then buy up all the properties. So you use all the business credit in Florida to go buy Georgia properties. And the only why you do that, because you can do credit repair in Florida. You can't do credit repair in Georgia. And that it doesn't take a lot of stuff. Only thing you got to do is just create a Florida LLC. A Florida LLC. So that is the name of the debtor or the commission. Delinquent tax. See how many properties that they own. So if this is a deal, you can also offer to buy any more properties that they may own. So they're a millionaire, 2.4, and they cleared 2 million. So they're a true millionaire. So have $2 million in equity. They're equity millionaire. 400,000. So Snellville. So they own something in Conyers. They own something in Riversdale. So I would try to figure out to see if they would try to sell any more of their properties if they was interested. So that would be my main. That would be somebody's main thing to focus on, because they have owned 4 properties. They got a lien. They have $2 million in equity. They got these delinquent tax liens. They can do seller financing on another property, and they don't even have to touch the multi-million-dollar property. You can just do seller financing on the other property. So that's why you got to get involved when it comes to your sales training. You try to figure out, if you don't want to sell this one, we can work on the other property. I got 50,000 and I got 40,000 up front. Can we work and set up the terms? And you use that 40,000 business credit that you get funded every 3 months to do seller financing every 3 months on another property. You're trying to figure it out. You're trying to get a good entry position so you can leverage all of the liquid and get all those rents. Because your cash on cash return is going to be strong. If you can leverage that 50,000 to get 2 properties, that is ranging around. I don't even got to be the $1 million neighborhood properties. If they give you the regular property where they say, well, I'm gonna live in my multi-million-dollar house, but I got another jobber that needs repair, it needs work, and I need to be able to make some money on it. Plus, you can tell them that one, based off the coordinates of the law, and I am not a tax advisor by any stretch of the mean, always do your research. But a lot of rich people will have it where they will sell the property to a corporation and lease the bad boy out. And doing seller financing, you can come in where you're building up the property, you're getting access to the rents. You have it where you work out the terms set up where you pay them $5,000 every month for, say, 150 months. That's 5,000. You're getting that per room. Say if it has 3 rooms, that's your gross. Say with all the factoring of interest, so you have to pay all in total to the owner. You can work it where you pay him this amount the first month, then the second month it'll be $6,700 a month minus 5,000. That is your net. That is your up total net. But it's depending on how much is the property's equity, how much the neighborhood goes for. Because if he has 4 properties and he gets him to 2.04 million in equity, or 2.02 million in equity, then that means that any of other these properties, like this apartment building, we need to figure out, okay, does he want to do seller financing on this? Because if he doesn't want to do his multi-million-dollar house, mind you, we get it. But we need this apartment, we need this residential vacant land, and we need to see what's going on with this property as well. We need to figure out on every scenario of this person is doing. Define a good offer, get access to the property. You have the liquid cash up front, because the cash up front is always going to get you in the door no matter what. If you have it where you meet him up face to face, you have a cashier's check liquid to his name, he's going to want to do something. Virtually over the phone, no. But if you pull up on that person, there is going to be some type of way how you get access in between these deals, where you don't have to do the bank situation. The owner is the bank and you work out the terms. This is in Snellville. So the equity crashed on his one property. So the equity crashed. I wonder, is he going to a financial hardship? Because all the equities seem like to crash on this property here. Let me see how much in taxes is. So Gwinnett property tax, $6,100 a year. Okay, $6,100 a year. Total assessed value, $141,000. I want to see the whole street view. Okay. 2891 Spruce Circle. Gotcha. Okay, perfect. An apartment setup right here. Because it says here on PropStream, this is an apartment. Lateral conversion, value add, very green. Looks damn near CGI if you ask me, but all that vegetation. And seems like this is the whole vibe of the neighborhood. Because we just trying to be able to find a good opportunity to build an apartment, get access to an apartment, and not paying full price on the apartment. But this is the property right here. It's blocked. Like, I'll be damned. So this whole Spruce neighborhood, all multifamily. So let me see what's inside the Spruce Circle neighborhood to see if we can find somebody that has a divorce, a lien, bankruptcy, and see if we can piggyback off of a problem and send them an offer and send them a solution. And, potentially some credit repair too, because, they also need to get that bankruptcy off that credit report. They want to focus on getting something else outside of the range. So no, a lot of vacants. Cool. Okay, we got a vacant duplex, office building, single family, commercial mixed use. So a lot of commercial and duplexes in this neighborhood. So I'm gonna save this. Well, I want to save all of this. So let me. Damn. Hold on. Let me do this. Okay. I want to choose one duplex over the other, but I'm going to figure out the rents in this area. We're going to see how much you can maximize each room. Okay, nobody's not in the back. Perfect. Okay. 280 for the duplex. Paul Beckman, see how many properties that he owes. Because if this is a potential deal, then Paul might want to sell something else. Okay, Paul is a multimillionaire. So he got 4.1 million in equity. That's nice. We like to see that. He still got some loans that he wants to pay off, 16 properties. He owns properties in Roswell, Snellville. So he got pretty much this whole county locked up, sealed. Okay. I'm trying to see where is any more of his vacants. So we got one vacant right here. All the rest of them, he may be renting it out, but he probably is a tired landlord because he got all duplexes, as you see. The only thing he invests is in duplex. So you invest more in the man than the property. So you want to figure out what's his situation when it comes to what does he want to sell. Because he got 16. I know like common sense can and probability can probably say that Paul wants to sell one of these 16 properties. He want to cash out some form of N. Now, the hedge fund or any type of investor, if it's going to be 285, they want to get involved 65%. I would say offer Paul on duplex. Try to take him as low as 185 as a starter negotiating price and no higher than 210. Then you would use the highest comp in this neighborhood, in the same neighborhood, mind you. Hope everybody's following me, because this is a tutorial on how to link one end to the other end. You would use the highest comp in this neighborhood and try to match up to see if it can be the same year, close to the same year built, close to the square footage, and damn near close to the same type of build of house. So when you want to be able to make that opportunity to see if you can sell it off, where you can make a $10,000, $15,000 spread in between the middle, you possibly can. But this is the fix and flip comps right here. So if this is accurate, the investors get it for $316 and they're flipping it for $885,000, making it a $570,000 profit. So that number highlighted is the analytics of all this investor activity in this neighborhood. So they're getting it for good deals and flipping it for like the highest amount. So this person right here, I don't know if this is an apartment building duplex or this is some type of glitch and error on this, but this vacant land was sold here for $4 million. So I bet you this is foreign investment activity, because I saw the property in 125th in Lenox in Harlem, New York, sold for $6.7 million, looking at it. And it was bought by a foreign investor. So also look at that element as well. So a lot of times it's not even a hedge fund, it's a foreign investor that's needing a way how to shelter off cash. So they made a huge profit. They got it for $500,000 and flipped it for damn near $4.5 million. So that these are all the other flips. So I would say the safe way I get involved in is try to get into the property for $210, try to flip it for the amount of $230, show the numbers of the highest comps, not these fix and flip comps, because a lot of these are just foreign investor. Or you can skip trace that foreign investor and knock on his door and see if you want to buy any properties that you send him. So you're connecting the seller and the buyer when you're doing that. So, skip trace, try to find that realtor agent, the listing of the sale transaction, because all transactions is recorded. So you would go to the transactions of the comparable properties right here where we got the comparables, find the agent, call the agent and say, yo, I got a property deal. You got one of them cash buyers. They bought one of these properties for a huge amount of money. I got another deal ready for them. Can we be able to make things happen? So the comp here, 365, 285, 305, 240, 275, $325,000 sold. Sarah Lou, 345, 325. So Sarah Lou's comps is around 320, 335. I'd use those comps to justify, you getting it for 215, you selling it to your investor for 225, 235. That's how you justify it, by using those comps. So you're using those comps just to have it where you can be able to make your money on the spread. And you use line HUD 1 statement to the title company, so you can make sure that you get your title company to send you that check, and you can get involved when it comes to making some money on that spread. So that spread is going to help you. Spread is going to keep you liquid while you focus on acquisition. So you're just sending contracts to buyers while focusing on your own acquisition and stay ready to be able to have the prime opportunity when the opportunity meets. You done signed 5 contracts in the past 6 months off of wholesale real estate. Then you can be able to do what you need to do on the seller financing and the commercial end. Same thing how everybody that is involved in real estate, they're trying to keep themselves very liquid, keep themselves in the aspect where they don't want to be too much in the sideline, but they don't want to be too deep in it because they don't want to overestimate and over leverage themselves into bankruptcy. So, but for all the people that's coming in, please like the video. Appreciate everybody that's coming in. I don't know why YouTube literally unsubscribe people, then literally add a subscriber. I don't understand when YouTube does that. That's kind of weird. Because I got like 4 people that say, man, I didn't mean to unsubscribe. I don't know what's going on with this shit. They saying that I've been shadow banned, which that's kind of weird. But for all the people that's coming in, I appreciate everybody that tuned in. I might look at focusing on another type of sub-market in Atlanta, Georgia, so you guys can be able to research on as well. But I appreciate everybody that showed appreciation. All the people that emailed me, keep emailing me, please telling me on all of what you're doing when it comes to what you need, any type of tools, anything that I can do personally. Please feel free to be able to contact me. My email is creditbuilder475@gmail.com. That's creditbuilder475@gmail.com. Appreciate everybody that shows the time in and time out. Nothing but appreciation on the content. Content is just for you to be able to understand what's going on in your market, because a lot of people is being distracted on stuff that doesn't help them make no types of money. Doesn't even help them get to the pathway of money. Because I'm just trying to be able to have it where people can focus on the right executive orders, their local policy, see what's in their development area when it comes to using tools like constructionjournal.com, PropStream, Prospect Now, finding a good title company, good realtor, because good realtors is hard to come by. A lot of realtors don't know what they're doing. A lot of realtors do not know the concept of what a lot of wholesalers do. A lot of realtors don't even halfway appreciate them sending them deals. A lot of the stuff, it'd be crazy how a lot of people can literally just show a plane of unappreciation when it comes from getting the lead warmed up, getting it under contract, getting it into a right price entry so their buyer can benefit. You know, we trying to get those contracts in that neighborhood that I just showed you guys, Atlanta, Georgia. We try to get those contracts for $180, $210. So you can assign your $10,000 fee added on top, take it to your title company, and you tell the title agent to do a blind HUD-1 statement, and that protects your margin in between, where you're not getting deals blown at the last minute. That's worse than blowing a save in baseball. So I'm just trying to have it where everybody that's looking at all their metrics, looking at what's going on in their property values, who is a contractor, because really contractors is even more hard to come by, because whoever that got the best contractor wins in the game of real estate, because you got the labor and the manpower on staff. You got the electricians on staff, the HVAC, necessary something when it comes to mold, any type of greenage in that area. You can literally have it where your contractor, your appraiser, your loan officer that can get you in between more deals, because your loan officer, your mortgage broker, his job is to get you in maximum loans, maximum deals possible. And if you got a really good one, he can be able to structure it where you can make money at closing based off of seller financing and doing wraparound deals. So the wraparound deal is always a measurement of you getting involved into the property. You value add, build up the property, add increase rents, add new doors, or in office building space, you're changing your gross rents into a triple net so you can forward any type of taxes and interest to your credit tenant. So in office space, you're not spending all your money up front, paying the taxes, the principals, utilities. You use the gross, change it to the triple net. You don't have to pay, or you modify. You got to have your lease terms set up where you're not spending all of your money on the taxes and principal. You get a credit tenant, like you can get a CVS, and you do the triple net on the CVS. So triple net leasing, triple net real estate, CVS. Core type of businesses involving of like retail, you're just trying to find somebody that has a strip mall that has a tax lien, $1.5 million in property listing, a $200,000 tax lien, and you chop $200,000, you may offer him 1.1 to start off. Then if y'all negotiated up to 1.25, you give him 300,000 up front, and a good mortgage broker, you ask him for 500,000, he gets you 300,000 to that owner, and you profit 200,000 at closing. You reinvest into the next situation scenario. So I don't tell all my business, but with everything that's going on when it comes to Vegas, it's going to be a good prime opportunity for me. Good prime opportunity. You can be able to do what I need to do when it comes to joint ventures, partnerships, meetups, scenarios of a lot of seminars, focus on some more contractor connections, see who is who, get them construction lender loans, and you can be able to build up your way where your subdivisions be all you, joint venture. You can have 4 investors, or you can have just 2, you and your mortgage broker. So you're not doing this by yourself. You're not doing this solo. A lot of people should just focus on the management of the liquid cash that they do have, get another trade set up, focus on getting your credit built up where you have a strong hardcore profile. Authorized user trade lines can get you the Upstart loan, can get you the Apple credit card. That can be a base point to start off at, but you got to reinvest the credit into more businesses. So Key Bank is the credit union that has no doc business loans. People should focus on Key Bank, Langley Credit Union, DCU Credit Union. The SBA lenders video that I did a couple of days ago that had all 100 lenders of SBA lenders, and we literally broke down every single one. We'll try to break down every single one by one without making it mundane and boring enough. Business is boring language, but this is the important language that you would have to focus on so you can beat out your competition. You can avoid bankruptcies. Hell, you're profiting off of people's bankruptcies themselves, because you got Little Kim's property that went for $285,000. That neighborhood in New Jersey goes for $2.5 million. They probably got it for even lower still. So I had a partner, investor. He was a scenario of him wanting to buy Little Kim's property, and he got outbidded because of the scenario of the relationship between that investor and the bank. So also understand a lot of these bank connections and relationships you got to leverage, because a lot of people know a lot of people that's in the banking industry. Focus on the inventories that's been there forever, probably since 2009, if you can, which they still got a lot of properties that's on the bank books since 2009. You try to figure out, can you get it at a good low enough entry price? The code violations, you got to do the title search because there is violations. The code enforcement type of problems, issues, you got to figure out and scan everything that you possibly can on that property. Get access to it where you can get something for $60,000, and you built it up and it wound up being $300,000, $400,000. Then everybody's gonna call you the smartest investor because you then literally took advantage of the opportunity of bank owns, pre-foreclosures, notice of default when they're starting to fuck up, when they first starting to mess up. It's the notice of default notice of trustee sale, list pendants. That terminology will help you find all the people that are struggling in this country, and you be able to provide an offer, a solution for them. You can be able to close within 30 days. With the hedge funds, it's going to take 30 days. But the commercial real estate connections that I have and I give to you guys, that is going to be 7 to 10 days. So for all the people that is ready, because I have a lot of people that contacted me in January saying that they will be ready in March. For all the people that's ready in March, be ready. Be ready in March when it comes to your repair and the funding. Be ready when it comes to figuring out which market that you want to invest in, which city that you're trying to play with. Because we are researching in Atlanta, Georgia, Alpharetta, Marietta, then Florida. It'll be Jacksonville, Tampa, Florida, Orlando, surrounding areas in Orlando. Plus, we're focused on what would be another one? Nashville. A lot of hedge funds is in Nashville. If you can find something in Salt Lake, doing a virtual deal, because a lot of the times you don't even have to be up front of the seller's face. All you need to do, just have it where they know where to go. That would be the title company. And if you have a realtor that's on your side, or somebody that is a photographer, a bird dogger that's in the area, they can be able to meet up with the situation with the seller. You can be able to give them a piece of the action at closing, have them as either one of the assignors or a marketing fee. Because if wholesale real estate, like Atlanta, Georgia, wholesale real estate, you need a wholesale realtor's license or a wholesale license. You can do it where you can still tag team up with the realtor, create a website with your domain, have the photos of the property uploaded to the website, and you can do it as a marketing fee like you are a digital marketer. So that's how people still get paid in wholesale real estate. They have a setup where if they get a $20,000 type of assignment check, getting a finding a property deal, they're not going to put it as a wholesale fee. They're going to put it as a marketing fee, and you split it up with the realtor. So that's how a lot of people is very nifty. They do the joint venture setup like that as a market fee. So that's how people can be able to adapt and still eat when it comes to wholesale real estate. So you never just look at the YouTube video saying that wholesale real estate is dead. Nah, people are still making plays. They're telling you it's dead so you don't compete with them and they take your deals or your potential deals. But it seems like it's all a game when it comes to a lot of these big marketers. It's sad where you got people like Boyce Watkins that can't get a damn trademark, to people like Jay Morrison that he actually endorsed and didn't realize that he didn't have the proper paperwork as well. And it was a crowd fund. So it's sad. Jay Morrison had the opportunity to use those multi-millions of dollars to make it into $1 billion, where people that invested in $500 would have got a stipend of $5,000 every 3 months based off of the valuation of the property and the equity share on each individual. That $500 was supposed to be $5,000 every quarter if you did it right. Because they have black REITs. Because he was connected with Don Peoples. He's a multi-billionaire that's worth $5 billion. That's black. So, you got multi-billionaire type of scenario and connections. You're supposed to keep your word, be able to leverage the opportunity, and be able to expand on it where you can get a fat-ass $10 million a year type of salary check based off of you managing correctly and expand the values. You take $5 million and you get vacant land lots and you build 20 apartment buildings. And hell, you can leverage the money 8 to 12 times that, but I don't know. I guess scamming seems more fun for a lot of people instead of doing the correct business, even when you got billionaire people that have off-duty sheriff deputies, mind you, private investigators that can make it really rough if they really want to make it rough on OJ that he ripped off. It's sad, man. It's sad, man, because he made it bad for anybody else that want to do a real estate REIT. And not even trying to do it off the pro-black angle, just trying to do it on the basis of, here's my plan, here's my equity, I got credit, I got corporate credit, I got these lender connections, I got the contractors, I pretty much have the whole roadmap set up where if there's anything that needs to be done when it comes to these projects, it can be done. Too many of the Umar Johnson scam setups, man, where you're raising $5 million that's been asked since 2007. Too many of those things, man. Umar's a great orator, but he needs a property management type of team around him, a project manager and a property management team. Because if you raise $5 million, somebody's not gonna let you out that lot. It can be a racial bias, it can be non-bias, because the whole spiel was with Umar it was a racial bias. He didn't want to sell me the property. I'm thinking something that is no. I don't believe that, because if you had $500,000 and the property's estimated value is $800,000, you can do seller financing where you ain't got to give the person the whole $500,000. You could just give them $150,000 up front, get a construction loan, where using the lender's money, overestimate it, and you got even more money to add to your liquid cash pile for more deals. But that takes business acumen. It doesn't take business school, but it does take a level of business acumen to gather that if you're not mentally smart enough or mentally strong enough when it comes to a deal, focus on assigning and delegating people to those jobs and to those businesses where you're not falling short. Third-party contracting isn't a bad thing, y'all. If you're trying to be able to get above everything floating when it comes to operational management, day-to-day processing, lead generation, and also contacting and following up with people, third-party delegating is one of the smartest things you could possibly do. That will help increase your income, one, your efficiency, two, and save you time to focus on more deals, more connections, shaking more hands, making more connections, and just be able to be focused on more revenue sources in your area. So I think people should focus on negotiating when it comes, one, to labor, two, when it comes to deals and property assets, understand how to find people that are in a bind and just provide a solution. Because people do seller financing where they don't have to put money up front. Others do seller financing where they just get the title and get a wraparound loan and just tell the seller that we will get a refinance loan in 4 months. I'll give you upfront rents starting immediately. It just depends on what's the situation of the seller, what type of basic level information he needs to do, and give him the basic information that you need for him to be able to provide back as well. So it's just basic terms from your years, your interest rate, to a down payment, if any, or at terms where he will get paid up front. So that wraparound loan is going to save you. It's going to save you if you structure it correctly, plus if the property values and the neighborhood is very strong. So always go for a $500,000 property, lower it to $350,000. You can always find a buyer that's going to buy that for you for $370,000, and you can profit $20,000 on the spread. But I'm Real Deal Financial. I appreciate everybody that came in. I will be back tomorrow. We will talk about more stocks. We'll talk about Florida real estate. I had to talk about Georgia. And remember, everybody, the whole point concept of this episode specifically was profiting off of a Chinese bear market, profiting off of a stock market bear market, and also focusing on how to find a vacant lot and properties that are undervalued in a hyper valued neighborhood. So $350,000 and an $800,000 neighborhood, you're going to make some money off of that by signing the contract, or if you have liquid cash up front, seller financing, or the method of you just be able to have a good connection with somebody that is in the real estate that can help at least align a buyer for every contract that you have, a dispositions team. Please Google search it, dispositions in real estate. That'll save you a ton. Email me if you need any type of information or questions asked. Please email me at creditbuilder475@gmail.com. I think now my time is now to be able to end this. Appreciate everybody that liked the video. Please share it to a friend. Share a friend to share a friend. I appreciate everybody that shows me support every time I go live. Thank you. Peace and goodbye.